Thank you very much, Honorable Acting President. So we are just going to open the floor. We are not going to be here for more than 10 minutes. Please be brief, ask your question, and then you will get the answer from the Excellency or the Acting President who is sitting next to you. Please, can you, when you rise, introduce yourself and the organization you represent. Just let me make sure that.
Bonjour, Excellence, Monsieur le Président. Ce déplacement à Johannesburg témoigne de votre attachement et de votre engagement à la cause africaine. Nous le savons. Je m'en vais vous poser ma question. Moi, c'est Djibrila Ousmane du Mali. Excellence, je souhaiterais une réponse en français. Aujourd'hui, le Parlement panafricain doit aller au-delà des clivages régionaux et linguistiques. Cet organe, Monsieur le Président, doit être une bonne croix de transmission entre les peuples africains et les institutions du continent, mais il y a des questions fâcheuses qui plombent aujourd'hui le fonctionnement de cette institution continentale, qui est jusque-là un organe consultatif, donc ne légifère pas. Pour plus d'efficacité, est-ce qu'il n'est pas temps que ce Parlement bénéficie du soutien des chefs d'État de l'Union africaine pour, en plus d'être un organe consultatif, être un organe législatif pour donner plus de poids à cet organe de l'Union africaine et lui inspirer cette confiance?
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup pour la question. Ça, c'est des choses extrêmement importantes, très larges que vous avez évoquées. Et je pense que je ne pense pas que ce sera un moment pour moi, en tant que seul leader africain, de me prononcer sur ça. Pendant son discours, le président en exercice a déjà soulevé quelques éléments de votre question. Je pense qu'à un moment donné, j'espère que ça bientôt, l'Assemblée des chefs d'État va se réunir sur ce sujet, l'évolution parce qu'évidemment, le moment est venu de voir, ça fait presque 17 ans que le Parlement agisse. Le moment est arrivé pour voir comment on peut approfondir les conséquences de cette institution dans notre évolution africaine. Mais en principe, moi, je suis d'accord pour l'idée d'une assemblée directement élue par le peuple, qui fait que ce sera un vrai Parlement qui aura l'occasion maintenant d'agir en tant que. J'espère bien que j'ai répondu dans un sens à votre question.
Oui, Excellence, vous avez répondu parce qu'on veut que ce Parlement vous dise des clivages linguistiques. Voilà, vous avez répondu et on souhaiterait quand même que cet organe soit un organe de poids dans les décisions.
Ouais. Mais il faut organiser aussi la composition du Parlement si ce serait un vrai Parlement. Merci.
Thank you very much. So let me call on SABC.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. President. My name is Nama Polang from the SABC. We have quite a few questions for you, starting off with the COVID-19 pandemic. In your point of view, has Africa been able to work cohesively in cooperation in order to handle the pandemic? Could you please give us, from your point of view, how the continent is dealing with that? And then secondly, the G7 is going to converge in the UK next month, and we see wealthy nations stockpiling on vaccines. We'd like to hear from you what is your stance on the vaccine apartheid that's happening and the fact that the global south is struggling to actually procure vaccines for their own people? And then lastly, on the issue of parliament, do you think that BAP actually has the strength to have the right oversight, to exercise oversight in all African countries so that there is accountability across the board?
Thank you very much.
I think some things are quite obvious, and that is the manner in which we had to confront the COVID was not the best. It was not the best because we were too dependent on foreign supplies, even at the beginning, foreign diagnosis of what was involved. But I think that is a major lesson that has come through, and that is why, as we stand today, your own country here in South Africa, Rwanda, Senegal, my own, Ghana, are making very, very significant efforts now to be able to produce our own vaccines. Because really, if we're talking about vaccine apartheid, it is because we don't have the capacity to produce our own vaccines. It may not be the solution for the immediate situation, but clearly going down the line, we can no longer afford to be in the situation of having no capacity to fabricate our own vaccines. The immediate situation, at the end of the day, is going to have to be a discussion between us and those who have it as to how best our needs can be served. The British who are about to take over the GC, they have virtually completed the vaccination of their own people. And my understanding is that there are lots of stockpiles of vaccines in England that we can now start talking about how quickly, through the COVAX facility, they will be distributed. But I think the major organizations of the world are now quite clear. I don't know whether to say they've been even ashamed, but it is clear that it is on their agenda how best they can distribute the vaccines for Africa's consumption in the immediate future. But let me restate the point. The key, like it is the key in many other aspects of our lives as Africans, is the capacity to do things for ourselves, to be self-reliant. If we can get that as a message of economic and political engagement, you'll see that 5-10 years going down the road, we'll not be in the situation that we are now. The Pan-African Parliament has a very important role to play in the life of the African Union. And as the integration process accentuates itself, they need to have a legislative body, not only that will make laws ultimately for all of us, but also, even more significantly, have the oversight responsibility as to how the other arms of government operate is absolutely critical. We have that in our individual states. We ought to try and do our best to have it at the continental level as well. And it will, of course, mean taking some important decisions about how to strengthen the Parliament and its relationship with the organs of the African Union. But that has to be the direction in which we will travel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everyone, I have to stand up.
Thank you, Excellency. We're going to take one last question.
Okay. Mr. President, thank you very much. Okay. This one. Okay.
Mr. President, my name is Adetunji Omotola. I represent a media platform called How We Made It in Africa, and also I founded a platform called Afrospace. It's an online weekly channel on YouTube. Mr. President, my question for you is based on this. We're sitting in this great august body that has elected representatives from all over Africa, 5 from every single country, bar one. Now, Ghana is the host of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The Secretariat is in Accra. And we all know that trade in Africa, regional integration is 15%, which is very dismal compared to the Europe and Americas and so on. Now, how would you, Mr. President, given the fact that Ghana is the host of the Secretariat, how would you be able to use your influence as one of Africa's respected leaders to ensure that PAP and the Secretariat work very well together, speedily? And also, given the fact that the president of PAP, the acting president, just said that the budget has been cut by 50%, how would you be helping them to ensure that that budget, and I know you said you're going to hold your peace for now, how would you, is there a time frame that you will be looking at in terms of helping them to get that budget up? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Important issues which it would be difficult to get satisfactory answers for me because we're dealing in an area where one person cannot make a decision. It's a collective decision that has to be made, and it will have to be made at the level of the Assembly of Heads of State on the issue of the budget. The acting president of the Parliament has indicated the trajectory, the rather unfortunate trajectory that we've seen in the budgeting of the Parliament, and a solution has to be found, a better solution has to be found. At least I can say that much. And I'll contribute as much as I can. On top of also the connection between the Parliament and the Secretariat in Accra is an important one. I mean, we need the support of the PAP, for instance, to get people to ratify all the various protocols that need to be ratified, to make the FCFTA a truly functioning organ. So that is a link that has to be forged. Forging these links is one a question of the vision and the consciousness, and also of the effort that has to be made. But I believe that it is something that we will be able to succeed in doing. The South Africa, who's the Secretary General of the AFCFTA in Accra, is a very dynamic young man and is working very hard to make sure that these linkages are established for us to be able to work together.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Excellency. And this is the end of our press conference. We thank you very much for joining us, Excellency. Thank you.